Yo, news for the First Descendant just keeps getting better and better. Let's talk about it. Hello there, Darkcask is here. So, we got some incredible news that made my day. We had the First Descendant final test. Lots of positives, some negatives. The big one, and shout out to the community for sending so much feedback regarding those unwanted features, namely the gacha RNG system for the colors and paints and all that type of like basic customization systems. Producer, I'm gonna butcher his name for sure, producer Lee Byung-jun came on during one of the dev chats, and to our amazement and jubilation addressed basically a bunch of concerns that we had. I would say almost record time. Seems Nexon is reverting and changing a bunch of things based upon the feedback that we gave during the technical test, which is incredible. So let's go over those. First and foremost, like I said, the paint system, and they say we plan to take out random combination system, which was a matter of high concern during the test. We will enhance accessibility to obtain paints through various routes at launch point. This is one thing I put on my feedback as well. They still need to work on their translation. Whatever AI they're using during dev chat, it needs some tuning because some of this translation is kind of wonky. And the same applies to the game. Some of the naming conventions and the way things are described in tooltips and stuff, that needs changing. But regardless, let's celebrate the win. So apparently no more RNG for paints, and they want to give us more ways to acquire said paints. The bullet points during the dev chat just said paint system, no more RNG, and then this other communication came through Discord. As we all know, we were kind of baffled when we first came into contact with this paint system, especially if you're coming from Warframe, which I think a lot of the community is coming from Warframe and or Destiny 2. As soon as I opened the menu in the First Descendant and I saw 75 caliber, I thought, oh cool, it's like Warframe. You pay 75 platinum, you get a color palette with loads of different colors and tones, and you own them forever and you can use them on every slot on every Descendant. Little did I know how wrong I was. So yeah, you can use them on one Descendant, and you can only use it either on the head, chest, or other slots. As soon as you assign a color to a slot, that is it. You can't use it on another slot. So it was terrible. Like, let's just be honest, it was terrible. And I'm so glad that the community literally flooded Nexon with this, discontent when it comes to that sort of like monetization. Especially because, for example, on my feedback that I gave, I said, I'm happy to support free-to-play, but it needs to be fair and it needs to be without RNG. Anyway, they are changing it. Incredible. And I think the communication comes only 48 hours after the ending of the technical test. So super quick turnaround. That is something that I really like to see as well, is a dev group that can be very agile, take feedback and take action very quickly. That is a great sign of things to come. Then, second point of contention, and this is a really big one as well, they say battle pass improvements. We will also remove battle coins that caused inconvenience. Now you can earn rewards simply by leveling up the battle pass. We will also improve the UX to enhance usability. Huge! I mean, this is huge. This is something that I also sent on my through my survey as feedback, and it's something that I was talking about during our streams. By the way, shout out twitch.tv/Darkcask. Come and join the Twitch channel. I'm live 4 times a week. We have a great community. I would love to see you there. But yeah, I was kind of baffled when I was looking at the battle pass during the stream. I unlocked the battle pass and then I was like, hang on a minute. It said you are level 27 on the battle pass. Cool. Where's my stuff? I couldn't see my stuff anywhere. And then somebody said, oh, you have these coins. Use the battle pass coins to get your stuff. So again, I'm very happy that Nexon, especially with the baggage that Nexon has, the reputation that comes with the name Nexon, especially in the West, like we are always suspicious about pay to wins and all these things, rightfully so. So this is a great sign. I think they really want this game to reach a broader audience and have success globally and not just in certain regions. So that is great to see. Just let me play the game. I level up the battle pass and I get the stuff. And that's how it's going to be from now on. I'm super happy that this is happening because honestly, it was a big detractor. Like the color, RNG, and the battle pass coins really left a bad taste in my mouth. Even though we are partnered with Nexon as part of the First Descendant creator program, that will not change my opinion. And I will always say if I agree with something and if I think it's stupid or not. Moving on, optimization. So, big one here. I'm a big optimization nerd. I play on PC. I love testing performance on video games, different settings. I'm a big fan of Digital Foundry, Benchmark King. Those are great channels. Check them out. We were testing this on stream, and one thing that I gave feedback back in the day about, and it's still not implemented, is we can't just have effects low to ultra. Right? We need detailed information. I want a setting to turn on and off chromatic aberration, film grain, depth of field, vignette effect. I see other Unreal 4 and 5 engine games that have those options, so there's no reason the First Descendant couldn't have those options. At least they have motion blur on or off, that's something, but why be content with little when you can have it all, right? Another one is the effects quality setting doesn't affect only particle effects and, you know, alpha effects. It affects a bunch other settings. I don't want that. I only want to change how many particle and alpha effects I'm seeing on screen. I don't want to touch the other stuff. So we need one just for that, especially because in this game, very similar to Warframe and other video games, I do believe there's an excessive use of particle effects to the point that when you're in a squad with 4 people and then the enemies have their own particle effects, it gets to the point you can't see anything. I'm old school in that regard. On Warframe, I play with GPU particles off and the lowest amount of effects on screen that is possible to have on that game, and I want to be able to do the same thing on the First Descendant. I'd like to see what I'm shooting at. Carrying on with optimization, on the beta before this one, there was incredible improvement when it comes to optimization on CPU side and GPU side. Still, there was a couple of missions, mainly the endless type missions, where as you go through the waves, more and more enemies start spawning in, and it would get to a point, the game would become, like so many other Unreal Engine 5 games, it would become CPU bound, especially when it's like spawning in said enemies. It would completely buckle the FPS because the CPU threads weren't being used properly. It would just tank the FPS. It doesn't matter what GPU you had, it was a CPU issue. Glad to say that on this one, I tested exactly the same situation, the same map, and it's infinitely better, but it's still not perfect. There's still some fluctuations here and there. They also announced that they are doing more optimization passes on the game, and they are removing the frame rate cap on in-game cinematics, which honestly, this is another thing that worries me about the fact that the First Descendant is coming out on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. That is such a bad call in my personal opinion. You cannot say you have a next-gen looter shooter running and built from the ground up on Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, great, you're on the cutting edge. Well, not really, because they're being super constrained by the fact that they have to release these games on 10-year, 11-year-old laptops, which is what the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One are. Like, those consoles were kind of weak when they even came out, and we're still making games for that. So I think it's 2024. They should have scrapped the versions for last gen, because when people say to them, oh, the fields look a bit empty, please add more encounters, add you know, maybe some wildlife into the open fields and all this stuff, and they say, oh, we can't do it because of performance, I guarantee you they can't do it, not because of my PC, your PlayStation 5, your Xbox Series X. It's not because of those consoles, it's because they cannot find parity with those features if they deploy the game on a last-gen console. And then security, they are implementing easy anti-cheat. I mean, that is whatever. I guess that's great. I mean, if people want to hack they'll find a way. But yeah, easy anti-cheat being there, it's pretty standard. They're raising inventory capacity, which is, I think that's good as well. I didn't have many complaints. I did see other creators complain they were having issues managing inventory. I'll be honest, I didn't have those issues. I think the UI was decent enough, not perfect, and I'm glad they're making it better, but it was decent enough. I also saw some creators talk about the fact that they need a lock feature so that you don't delete items by mistake. That feature was in the beta. You could register, they called it register, and this is where, again, translation needs, you know, to be better, because why would you call it register, yada yada yada? Just call it favorite or lock or whatever. But you could lock items and they will never be destroyed until you unlock them. So that feature was there, and the fact that some people missed it, it's not on them. It's because it wasn't, you know, displayed or explained properly. So I agree on that. But yeah, more inventory, great stuff. I hope what they mean when they say we will enhance accessibility to obtain paints through various routes at launch. I hope that this means that like a basic color palette, like yellows, blues, reds, oranges, blacks, whites, purples, that sort of stuff, that you can acquire at least those basic colors through gameplay. I think that would be awesome. I would applaud that, and the community for sure would applaud that. Thank you very much for making it this far. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Darkowska signing off, and until next time, hasta luego.